No, can I just like say it not more than one word?
Or like a very short phrase
or something.
To me, ASM means the opportunity to learn my own history in an academic setting.
So if I were to explain ASM in one word, it would be empowering.
I would say unity.
I think if I had to choose one word, I would say eye-opening, just because I took on the ASM minor as a fourth-generation Japanese American, and learning about Asian American history and like the Asian American community was not something I ever learned about at home or when I was growing up or in regular American history classes.
I've taken 2 ASM classes so far, South Asians in the U.S., taught by Dr. Khan, and Asian American activism taught by Dr. Kozuma. And I think what really stood out to me was I learned about the process of change and how much work it really takes to really make change, not only on campus, but in the world. And that change is not something that you just go in and out of. It's really a way of life. It's something that you wake up with every day, and it's really takes place in everything you do.
I've only taken a few ASM classes. I took 205 with Dr. Khan, which was an ABCS course, engaging with Asian American communities in Philly specifically. That was really amazing. And through that, I was required to volunteer as part of my grade, and I volunteered with the Philly Asian American Film Festival, and I'm interested in film, so I was able to build a relationship with the director of the film festival, which was really awesome.
And one thing that was very cool actually was Professor Azuma, I think during his research, he focused on Southern California agriculture, and so he dug up some photos of my family, my grandparents and my great-grandparents, and just showed them to me during the class, and that really brought home how real this was and how I think personally connected I felt to the class and its material.
Since that was my only ASM class, it really did shape my thinking about just thinking about my identity as a whole. I never thought that would happen at any point in my life, just because I've always been used to being a minority of a minority. So just for some background, I'm a Japanese and Lao second gen. My parents immigrated here alongside my grandparents from my Lao side. So I was just okay, well, first of all, I'm already kind of mixed, so that complicates my identity, but also I'm from a very small minority, so I never thought that I'd ever learn about the history, or let alone have my peers learn about my history, because I've always been used to it being largely ignored.
I remember last semester we brought in a grad who was also an ASM minor, and he went to law school and is now an immigration lawyer. And as somebody who wants to go into law, and specifically working with immigrants and people of color, there's something that I truly learned a lot from, and also something that showed me a possible path for me in the future.
I think it's really important to have mentors that are Asian American, because you know that they know what you're going through and you can relate to them better than other mentors. I think first and foremost, it's important for any individual that's transitioning through college or any phase of life to have a mentor, but then it's even more important that you can relate to the mentor in all capacities. And I think that's been one of the most meaningful experiences that I've been able to have. College was not an easy transition for me, and I think finding these mentors and being in an environment where I can see people that relate to me has really made me just more comfortable at Penn.
Highly recommend to any Wharton student that they pursue a minor, just because I think taking pre-professional classes has been super great, but I also wanted in college to be learning things that were just interesting or intellectually stimulating. And for me, when I was looking through minors, ASM really stood out because it was super manageable. I think there's only 6 requirements, and in addition, like I said, it was super personally relevant.
So I thought that I would be continuing to take ASM classes, but I got more invested into my actual major, which is biology. But I always thought that there would be a lot of electives that would have applied for my college requirements, but unfortunately that's not the case. For example, I still need to fulfill a humanities sector, and it's really unfortunate that a lot of these classes are tailored towards a lot of American history and not so much the other identities in America.
I think Penn needs ASM because Penn is a very prestigious institution, especially in terms of American history, and I just don't think that in this age we can keep centering European and white history as the dominant narrative.
So in my ASM 110 class, I learned a lot about Grace Lee Boggs and her story and all of her work that she's done in terms of her communities. And I also want to stay here in Philadelphia, so kind of, even though it's a different city, kind of learning about what her activism in terms of organizing was and trying to bring some of that to our working with other people in the communities of Chinatowns or different cities here, different parts of West Philadelphia. Bringing some of her knowledge in would be a great success in terms of how I could grow my own activism.
Penn needs ASM because Penn is an institution that values itself on the pillars of diversity. And so I think it's absolutely crucial for Penn to be a beacon of light that really serves as an example for others to follow, in that we're not only supporting ASM but other ethnic studies as well. And like I said before, it's crucial for students to not only see themselves reflected in the textbooks if they really want to do the things and go out and change the world.